Welcome to the Solemn Vanguard channel. Today we're going over a Granblue deck that recently topped a tournament in the Japanese metagame. This list is just your consistent Granblue build, but I assume many people would still like some clarifications or a list to follow. I will put a link to the Twitter post in the description. Honestly, as with almost every standard deck, there aren't many choices to be made. The deck practically builds itself, and so apart from maybe one or two things in this list, it's the exact same build you'll find topping at every tournament. Granblue is arguably one of the best decks out there right now. You've also got OTT still doing very well, but yeah, watch out for this deck. So we start off with 4 Baskirk. Not much to be said, he's the advantage engine of the deck. Builds field, you want to be on him. He's got a free crit and the deck runs 8 crits, so you don't want to no guard him either. Next up we have 3 Skull Dragon, the gigantic beatstick. This card is so damn scary, he's just a better version of the whale we saw in G. And we see 1 Hulky Boy, Violence Franger, I'm terrible with names. He's pretty much insanely hard to guard. I've seen some people run 2 instead of 1, I get why, but he doesn't give a protect gift, so you don't necessarily want to be on him as your Vanguard all the time either. Regardless, the painful finishing power in this deck heavily relies on the grade 3s. Both Skull Dragon and Violence are just really scary cards. Next we have 4 Ruin Shade, a very important part of the engine since it starts fueling the drop zone very quickly. Apart from that, it doesn't need a boost to hit because of its passive power plussing, which it gets pretty easily. We also see 4 Captain Nightmist, a hard plus by letting you grab a grade 1 from drop and place it on the field. Yet another important part of the engine, and once you're into the mid and late game, he becomes even more powerful by letting you call whatever you want. Often a Skull Dragon. Now the final grade 2 slot in this deck is actually relatively unconventional. A lot of people opt for Commodore Blue Blood here, but this player went for Fancy Guy Alvaro instead. It says when placed from drop it gets 10k power, so another big beatstick. I guess the person didn't opt for Commodore Blue Blood because his power gain is a bit reliant on RNG and its secondary skill requires you to hit. Then again, Commodore Blue Blood's second skill is quite nice. It lets you filter your hand, push more stuff in drop. It can be very handy for your engine, so it's really up to you. Now for grade 1s, there really are no surprises. We see 4 Dandy Guy Romario, no need to not run it, amazing when you ride on him. We see 4 Dancing Cutlass, just a plus with a counter charge. You'll notice this deck's main goal is plussing a ton out of nowhere to then win with painful Skull Dragon and Violence Franger turns. 3 Norman the Ghosty fills up your drop zone and then gives plus 10k to another unit. And to round out the grade 1s we have 3 Evil Shade, which again makes you plus by filling up the field for free. See, whilst OTT pluses by just drawing, Granblue pluses by not having to commit hand to board, so you can actually build a board out of nowhere and keep your hand to guard with it. As a starter we got our free Draw Boy, as does every deck, and for triggers we have 8 crits, 4 draw PGs and 4 heals. Again, no surprises whatsoever. That is basically all for this list. I hope you found this informative. If you did, please subscribe to the Solemn Vanguard channel and click the bell button to stay up to date. Like the video if you liked the video, let me know your thoughts on Granblue in the comments down below. I will see you soon. Ciao.